And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alien Spaceship stream. You could be watching from anywhere in the country or the world, and I really appreciate every single one of you. Coming to you from the Spaceship Studios from a galaxy far, far away. And now I'll be switching over to the other screen. Alright, let's go here. Alright, hello, it's I, Alien Spaceship. I hope all of you are doing well, having a good day, good evening, good afternoon, and wherever you are. And hello there, Zero. Good to see you. It's going down, yo. Hey, welcome to the stream, Zero. It's always nice to see you. Now, what I'm going to be doing is, in the beginning part, I'm going to be playing the game, and then a little bit later, I'll do another thing. But, so, I'm going to switch over to the other screen, and here we go. Look at this. There's a bunch of presents right here. Scared. Now, the gifts that we have in this region are a couple of gifts and a grenade or a cannonball with a bow on it. That's crazy. Wow. All right, so this is the pirate. Okay, the Kraken. All right, and there's a winter festival over at the different locations. Okay. All right, this is where we were last time at the pirate. Uh, during the pirate quest, and that is the lava. All right. A little bit later, we're going to be looking into some different things for later on too. The game is for right now, and that is a reef for Christmas. So I like the different Christmas themed things in here. All right. I have some more ships to take out. Let's see. Okay, this is on this quest I'm on. I'm going to be attacking a specific ship. Let's go here. Looks like it's a little ways out, not really close by. We're gonna go in that general direction though. Volcano Island. Drive by on that ship. Okay. Then I'm gonna attack this one too, but not even the ships that I'm even after. It's just something that I needed to. Oh, all right. I'll take it out. I'm scared. I have to finish these ships off. All right. Let's go here. All right, and let's go here. Oh, that's a Raven's Cove ghost. That's a different thing than the other thing that I was doing. Let's see. Let's see. All right, that's where I need to go. I had the wrong quest available. Okay, so let's go this way and head right here. I'm being attacked right here, so we're going to switch over here this way. All right, so this is the actual ship to take out is this way. Okay. All right. Ah, here we go. All right, another page was found. Okay, now we're going to get one of the other M ships. And every single one of these ships that are floating around are directly from Timu. Right? Their cannons are from Sheen. So it will be a certainly interesting task to do right now. Okay, going to go full speed. There's many ships out here. Wow. Alright, here it is. Oh, there's a lot of ships in the uncharted waters. That's something interesting. Yeah, lots of ships in the uncharted waters. It must be sailing for free. It must be giving the sailors something for free. Right there's another one. As I said, there's plentiful ships in this region. I sunk the behemoth. That's good. Alright, 6 pages found. Right, the halo from the sky has detected that ship right there. That did not quite work the way I thought it would. Okay, so we're trying to find pages of pirate lore, and they're hidden on these certain ships. So we got to get a couple more, and then that part will be done. There'll probably be some other ships to catch. All right. So it looks like these other ones are coming to the aid of the ship that I'm trying to get. Okay. Okay. We increased a level in the pirate. One of the bones was put there. Okay. Now we'll be able to get this ship easily. I'm scared. Might be this one out here. Let's see. Okay, we got 8 pages of 10. Now we need 2 more. Now it's just one more. Now it's just one more. Hello there, Frog. Good to see you. And other ones have not come yet. I don't know where they are. I Some of them were here yesterday, as the stream progressed. Thank you for telling me hello. All right, so now going after the cutter shark. Yeah, that the bounty hunter's trying to go after me, but I'm trying to go after another ship. So when to see about curving this? All right, let's go out this way. Ah, okay. Let's go here. All right, we got 10 pages. 10 pages. But I'm going to dock with the treasure that we have, and then go out and get the other ones because I'm not trying to fight the bounty hunters right now. All right. Right now we are going to be docking. Boiling Bay. Holy Cutlass. That's nice. Broadsword is good because it can heal. I like the swords that have the healing capabilities. Okay. Alright, let's go after some of these other ships. Alright. Alright. Here it is. Ah, okay. Ooh, they got me pretty good. That is the zombie ship. Okay. Alright, let's go this way now. Alright, that was a bloody battle right there that I did not expect. Okay. Seems like my ship is weak from the backside. Alright, let's try to get some more. Looks like it's going to be quite a ring of fire here. The ship could go down, possibly. Did not quite expect this. Wait, it went. Alright, so we're going to go back and dock and get this repaired. Alright. I'm not really completely familiar with volcano islands in the Caribbean. Something I have to look into, but that is something that's quite. You did probably. I would imagine more from Hawaii than this region. Okay. Alright, going to now repair this over here. Okay, now sawing up wood. Alright. Now going to pump water out of the ship. Alright. Now going to do some hammering. Right. Okay, now we're going to be plugging up the water. we're nearly getting it completely fixed. And here it goes. Doing some more sawing. So we got the moon chilling over there. And now we are entering this other direction. The Barracuda. Well, that's a nice texture and color with the sky. Oh, that's all nice. All right, now going over here to take this one out. Okay. Ah, right there. There we go. We've arrived to the next ship in the adventure. Okay, let's go. Now all these other ships are coming up. Okay. Now that was epic. We survived it, but that was epic indeed. Okay. Now going to the cutthroat. We'll go get that ship over there. Sure. Okay, so as we drift, it is the night, kind of a cloudyish night on the Caribbean Sea. And we are about to get more of the pirate lore treasure in a moment. Okay, here's one right here. Almost got it. Oh, and something like this. Yeah, this is like a giant rock. An island we cannot dock. I like how the ship can just sail through an island. That's cool. Scared. That's a nice moon right there. Now the moon is coming out more. Turning this way. Nice. We got that. Alright, that's good. It's way out there. All right, so this we have a vest. There's that thing. All right. Now on the island of Cuba. Well, that's a nice moon. It's a nice view from here. Bunch of farm animals here. And pigs. And the chickens too. Okay. That's like what we call a sandman instead of a snowman. Okay. This is the tavern. Okay, so they have some nice Christmas decorations here. There's a present right there. Nice. Okay. I could teleport around, I think. Let's see. Let's see at Tortuga if they have anything over there. Nice. Okay, this is a Christmas banner for fall. So I mean, that was silly of me to say. Not for fall, but for the as a snowflake with candy cane background. All right. Hey, red ribbons. This is a mansion of some sort. I've never been here before. Okay, Bodash Mansion. Okay, it's a nice house. I mean, it's as I said, this stuff reminds you of Shrek, the Shrek movie. Now you have this reef. You got a present there. I like the Christmas decorum. If the I don't really know what they did for Christmas in the Caribbean back then. It's interesting seeing our modern designs, what we use for Christmas in the modern day in this type of game, because it's what they would use if it still existed. This era had the type of stuff that we had with the decorations. It looks like there's a that ceiling's open. Is this real? Wow. Okay, there is a ceiling just open. I guess a it closes up, I would assume. Oh, it has a stocking in it. Is this Oh, this is look at this. It has a stocking and it has a little it's a doll or some sort of action figure of some kind. And then it has a reef. Let's go. And there's another present on top there. Okay. See what's on the menu. Some sausage. It looks like some apples, some fruit. I mean, just some meat and an apple and a drink. Okay. Over here. It's a steering. Oh, that's a glitch right there. Let's see, a little glitch. Yeah, it's a glitch where you kind of see the other parts of the game. Okay. Oh, there's one of those plants like in Mermaid's game where the plants are lurking and they're hiding something. That's and there's like a present there. Just they're both plotting. So there's a present right by the window and a plant, and they're both up to something. Okay. Yeah. So this wheel of the ship. That's a good decoration for a bed, I have to say. Well, what's this right here? It's a bow. Something is a. Oh, it's a bow. And it's a flintlock. Okay. Well, that's a nice present for somebody. And that's a candle next to the bed. And that's the view. Alright, that would be the view from. This is the view from the bed itself. It's a picture of a ship. It's pretty cool. This reminds you of Roblox, kind of. The walls have a good texture to it. There's a treasure chest, like put a trunk to put things in, and yeah, it's a nice house. So like a book, another flintlock, and a candle. Hello, Michael. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the ship. I'm just in the game looking around the different houses in it. I just doing a little bit of a tour for its Christmas parts. Okay, so now there's some ribbons. Oh, you're on your new computer. That is awesome. Uh, I'm sure it's. I would think it'd be working very well. Okay. Those computers are designed really cool with the lights and stuff that's on them. Okay, we have more reefs and a red bow on the candle. So this is like the gun shop. There's a cannonball with ribbons on it. There's a ribbon over there. And there's two stockings. What's in these stockings? a sword, and it's stabbing through, and a grenade, and a voodoo doll. That's what it is. When I told y'all it's an action figure or a doll, it's a voodoo doll. That's what I was saying specifically. Okay. Oh yeah, Michael. That is a royal pain in the butt indeed, with the setting everything up and trying to like get everything together. I even know that when you get something new like that, it can be a hassle to you know complete the process. It's like one step of the battle is buying it, and then setting it up is a whole other chronicles of issues. Yes, right, and yeah, because it almost looks like a fish tank. You know those type of computers. It looks like a fish tank with the you can see everything inside. It's all transparent. Like inside, you can see everything. All right, there's red ribbon with green. Okay, you have two of them. There's a bow on the cabinet. I'm standing on the table. All right, there it looks like something where you put water, some sort of liquid, and then there's some additional food on there too. Nice. Okay, the food it looks like a fish, I guess, and some apple and a bread. So there's just a bunch of bows on different cabinets. Let's see what's in this stocking. A voodoo doll. Okay. There's some more bows. Okay. Yes, very nice decorations they have. So I think over here there's a bonfire of some kind, maybe. I don't know if they put it up yet, but we'll. They have Christmas deck. Ah, here he is. Hello, mermaid. Thank you for letting me know and that you're here and about the situation. And I am. I hope things clear up and get better. Okay, thank you. I'm sure because at times I know things could get people could be not nice, stuff like that, and uh, life does hit us in the head like a brick at times. Yeah. Okay, chat. Look at this. We got a palm tree with a bunch of ornaments in it, and more ribbons. And I think there's like a usually here somewhere around here there was a I guess it's later on. You could press shift and you could like get a gift from one of these things. It must have not have activated it yet. But yeah, that's a. Let's see, there's a trunk, a treasure chest trunk, a couple of sacks of red and crates. Yeah, that's a well decorated tree. Usually, as I said, there's you could get something out of there, a gift of some kind. It must be later on. Yeah, this is the part where they usually have bonfires and celebrate the different holidays in this region. There's also a catalog. Oh, mermaid. Mermaid says, with mental disorder, I'm splitting and learning what even means, and it's very scary where you don't think clearly. I agree, Mermaid. I think that it can. It's a very serious issue that people need to get addressed at times. It's normal to, what I mean by normal is that it's a lot of people have their own demons to struggle with, so to speak. And I think it is a very frightening thing, especially, say, where there is like the logical situation, and then it being overridden by something else. It can be quite frightening indeed. All right, Mermaid said, question: will you be doing the case or court hearings of Stephen Stearns? Have you heard of it? I have heard of that, but I'm not completely rounded on that, so I'm gonna go see what that is about. Thank you. I'll certainly do hearings about that. I will do research and whatnot on that topic. Yes, I will. I will. I'm going to refresh your memory about this because I heard the name before, but not much remembrance about it. Okay, let's see. And to put okay, and P.S. All people who are kind about mental illness, whether be small or huge, it means a lot to us who are affected. Yes, it does. It does. We really feel for them, indeed. I'm going to read about the case that Mermaid mentioned. Viewer discretion is advised. It can be. This is a graphic one. Stephen Stearns is a Florida man who was sentenced to life in prison in July 25 for the sexual abuse and murder of his girlfriend's 13-year-old daughter, Madeline Soto. Victim was the life and boyfriend of Madeline Soto's mother, Jennifer Soto. Authorities believe the abuse of Madeline. Hello, Jesus Christ. Good to see you. Welcome. The victim of Stephen Stearns was the life and boyfriend of Madeline Soto's mother, Jennifer Soto. Authorities believe the abuse of Madeline began as early as when she was 18. No, when she was 8 years old, not 18. Okay. There is a horrible amount of his jail calls going around. Oh, okay. I will look into it. All right. Disappearances and discovery. Madeline was reported missing on February 26, 24. After she never arrived at school despite Stearns being tasked with dropping her off, her body was found days later on March 1, 24, in a wooded area near St. Cloud, Florida. Yeah, I remember this case. I remember this case in the summer. And medical examiner determined she was deleted by strangulation. Evidence surveillance footage showed Stearns discarding items including Madeline's backpack and school-issued laptop in a dumpster at their apartment complex. Morning she disappeared. Investigators recovered thousands of images and videos, the abuse from his phone, Google Drive, despite Stearns having factory reset on his phone that day. Plea deal in July 25. He said, "Are you a real mermaid?" In July 25, a jury trial was set to begin. Stearns reached the plea agreement with prosecutors to avoid the deletion death penalty. He pleaded guilty to 20 counts of And Mermaid said, "Geez, haha, no, I'm virtual one, though I love them." And he's been down some crazy rabbit holes. I like the real life mermaids too. I love to. It certainly hold my breath. Right. Yeah. I love mermaids, and the one in the chat as well. They are awesome. All right. Sensing Osceola County Circuit Judge sentenced Stearns to 21 concurrent life sentences in prison without the possibility of parole. He has since been transferred to state prison facility. Court statement: Stearns made a brief statement in court saying, "I apologize for all the pain," but he did not explicitly acknowledge real mermaids we have know are really cool jobs. Yes, explicitly acknowledged his role in her death, and Madeline's family, including her father and grandmother, derived victim impact statements. All right, and I will certainly cover that, and we are going to in more streams we'll cover other things as well that I've talked about before. If that makes any sense. There's more coming. I know I go live every day, but there's still more. Because I remember we covered stuff during the year that was pretty cool, and we're going to do more of that. And okay, calls. Yeah. Also, one of the worst parts of this case to me was Stefan recorded the abuse hundreds of times and shared it online. Yeah, that is extremely disturbing. That he did that. Yeah, and that one was super interesting. Yeah. And dreams sometimes in youth can be regrets as time goes on. And dreams also can be positive things and attributions for the future. Many people are not always in tune with them, and sometimes people are just stuck in the matrix, so to speak. So it's always good to have actually, dreams of striving for more or enjoying the moment. That one's super interesting. Okay. And yeah, so I think recording the abuse, as you mentioned, is extremely evil, and to do it to anybody is wrong, and to do it to a child is, and then to record it and having pride over it is extremely sick indeed. All right. Mermaid said, "She was just a baby. We all have theories. She passed at 13th birthday. The night after the party, we think she might have been pregnant. None of it confirmed." Okay, thank you for the theories. My memory's being refreshed, or I didn't know that before. So it's interesting to know. Thank you. She was a baby. We had 13th birthday night after party. Yep. So, gosh, the fact that he shared it with many people or sold it bugs me every day. Yeah, and in the Bible, Jesus in the Bible said that, hurting a child, they need to have a boulder tied around their neck and thrown into the sea, rather. So, from religious or non-religious perspectives, it's important to defend those that can't defend themselves. And yeah, I think it's extremely evil indeed, because love and kindness should be shown all over. And it bugs me as well, and people like that don't have any kind of empathy for what they do. They just keep on doing it, and they get caught. Now people buy his jail calls, and also he is a fellow believer, which is super sad. He is more newly saved, it sounds. Oh, okay. Okay. It's something that he may have come to later, or he's using it as a way of trying to get sympathy, possibly to explain it where so they may say they're saved, but they really aren't, and they're trying to use it for their advantage, for appeals or whatever. But it's also possible he may really be saved. Later on he may have repented. Okay, something like that. It could be either of those two things. So, and I understand it could be awkward for people to hear that, and for his own good, I hope he realizes the wrong that he did, and if he believes he is innocent and he didn't do it, unless there is lots of evidence to convince us that he was innocent, which there isn't. That is a red flag if he doesn't take responsibility for it. Now let's see, does he still claim innocence? Let's see. Right, and Steven Stearns no longer claims innocence. He accepted a plea deal in which he pleaded guilty to 20 counts of sexual abuse and no contest. The first degree murder charge, a no contest plea, means the defendant accepted punishment without formally admitting guilt. All right, and Mermaid says, I have a feeling he might not have ended her life. It sounds like the mom did out of jealousy. Oh, okay. So you believe that the mother may have done it. Okay, interesting. Okay. So, and Mermaid, what is the reason you think that? I'm curious. Because that certainly can be a thing where people, it may not be who you think it is, it might be someone else, and jealousy or other factors can cause murders, and someone else may take a blame for it. That's an interesting thing to ponder. I like to know that theory. And another thing that happened that bugged me is Maddie was drugged, and it was evident. Yeah. When something is evident like that, and it's clear as day that the person was drugged out, and it's obvious, if there's nothing really to stop it, that could also be very annoying too. Indeed, it's makes sometimes hard to sleep at night with some of these things that happen in the world. All right, Mermaid said, "Us mothers know she allowed her baby to sleep with her boyfriend. It really bothers us." Oh yeah. Okay, that is. I think I remember during that time there was talk about she should have been charged too, and if I recall correctly, she wasn't. And if she really was doing that, she needed to be prosecuted over it. And I understand they would need the burden of proof to convict her, to try to press charges against her. But yeah, she's really doing that. She needs to be held accountable. They had her THC and other things. The photos on the house showed camera, kid stuff, multiple rooms, and toys. Yeah, and those type of toys, those S toys. Yeah, that is just completely satanic and evil to do that. It's the children are pure and they are the light. Not all. So there are some kids that are evil, but there's usually they're good and pure, and they shouldn't be being hurt like that. So yeah, that is extremely wicked, and no one's gonna outrun God. All right, and God, he's the man going around taking names, and he's the man that comes around, and the horses of the apocalypse will come, and they will be in the fire of brimstone if they do not repent and change. And those that are just evil are just going to go there anyway. That because they don't want to change. A lot of evil people. Mermaid said, "Yeah, alien, and she is drug addict and is hiding the mom." And they said, if she told everything, she had immunity. Maddie, I hope to God you're in heaven, poor baby. Yes. Oh, I believe the child is in heaven. I believe the child is in heaven. That is my opinion because Jesus always loved the children, and the child I feel did nothing wrong. It was a victim. She was a victim, and the parents that were responsible for the child were the ones that were guilty of the crime and sin, not her. Maureen said Maddie's friends stated she never shared the abuse, but said she told them when she turned 13 she was going to run away and live in the woods. Yeah, because clearly the shout out to Mary Toodles. Clearly she obviously was being abused. Something was clearly wrong. Oh, amen. Jesus, amen. So that is absolutely true. That she wanted to run away in the woods. She just had nowhere to go and wanted to just get away. That's the psychology of it. It's a fight or flight response. And the woods seem like the place where you'd be hidden with nobody there. So yeah, that's very sad. Right. Maddie also wasn't a nice girl. She was mean and other things because of her being a victim of abuse. They made her into a monster, from what I heard. Yeah, and a lot of times there's a saying that if you look into the void, you become the void. They. Uh, so I still think, my opinion, she would be forgiven, regardless of also what she believed in or not. You know, because I believe that God can judge people based on what they knew and what they went through, and especially kids are very valuable to Him. And yeah, that's what happens. And I would say she's more of a victim of like people in conflicts or in wars, and they became messed up from a war or something, but it wasn't that in itself, the war of that they were bad people. It's just that the human mind has its breaking points at times, especially a young person. Yeah, mermaid. That's another thing, because there's another child involved, so to speak, if she was carrying another one. So yeah, I think she passed by drug use and asphyxiation. I think someone choked her. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. I or all the drugs must have gotten her in the abuse. Yeah, because it's really a cowardice thing to do to somebody. It's especially a child like that. If they can't defend themselves, it's a very cowardice thing to do. And trying to silence, it's like, well, how is a child such a big threat? Why do they feel they need to do that? Especially a lot of times they want to pick on things that they feel are weaker than them. That's another thing too. Stefan's going viral again, and he is so pathetic. I study predators so I can smell them from miles away. Well, I'm glad that you did that, because it's important to detect those type of people, because they are not good to have around. Indeed, they're very bad. Alright, said Stefan is a giant child. He believes he's a kid, and this is why he had sick feeling with Maddie. Yeah, yeah, and a lot of times they are like Darrell Brooks, for instance, who's similar. He has no. They are like a child in a man's in an adult's body, but they're like an evil child in a man's body, or an adult body rather. And they would go and do that, right? It's absolutely crazy what these people do, and their minds are twisted and warped and evil, and they act like very mature for their age at the same time. Right, said, if I ever caught someone hurting anyone, I'd definitely be in jail. I don't blame you. I don't blame you indeed. To see any sort of injustice like that is boils the blood. And they in our court systems and stuff, you have how a lot of times you go through these checks and balances and things, and people could even get off the hook with the right circumstances, which I disagree with. So I think it's justice is very important to have in these matters. Mermaid said, I agree about Darrell because he had no maturity to the point of no humility, no restraint. Right. Yeah, it's like he he acted like a kid at like a little school, at like a little like a where kids go, and he's playing with blocks and toys, and he's getting angry and throwing a fit and a tantrum. I used to see that all the time. So that is what he was having, indeed. But it's in an adult body. When you have an adult body and they lack the emotional self control to say have restraint, when you have the lack of restraint, then the other factors come into play where, yeah, you're going to hurt somebody and it's going to be very dangerous. The kid, it's different, where usually it's not going to be as lethal, usually, and they grow out of it. So, yes, I certainly in agreement. Her mom running around is really one we know will be judged when we pass. It's scary. Yeah, and I believe in an afterlife, and there is hellfire, and there will be eternal torment for those that are like that for eternity. Then there's a lake of fire brimstone that comes later for them at the same time. So, which was originally designed for the fallen angels, but then will be designed for the humans that fall away. So, yeah, the Holy Spirit guides the people, from God, from my view, and we, by the discernment of the Holy Spirit, we will be able to tell these types of separating the sheep from the goats. And the evil spirits are out there too that are lurking like roaring lions, devouring people as they go, using humans as vessels for evil, and they will pay the piper for what they do. Alright, said, I guess I was listening to some of the calls, and some of the things he talks is unbelievable. Like, I don't know that food would be good in prison. Yeah, you see, remember, people like that are obsessed with themselves, and he's only concerned about him and what he's going through. He doesn't care about the people that he hurt and the person he murdered. He just is concerned for himself. Stefan is also is a me type, soft, high pitched speaking person, and I just wonder the mom hated her daughter and how Stefan and her even had a relationship also. Oh, I think that it is he had a high pitched voice too. He soft, high pitched speaking person. Wonder why the mom hated the daughter. Oh yeah, why the mom hated the daughter and how Stefan and her. Yeah, so he seems like he sounds like a weasel, like an evil weasel, and he is completely unbearable. The mother, yeah, they're just wicked. Also, another thing is there's people that have like they're tempered, and they let whatever emotion, if it's jealousy or anger, hate, they let their emotions get the best of them, and it comes like a hurricane, and it takes over any logical reasoning, and they're just, they're responsible for their own actions. They allow that to happen, in my opinion. And Raid said, I have to tell you, even when he got sentenced, he was allowed to speak to everybody, and he said he enjoyed her the whole time and made, ew, that's disgusting, that he enjoyed that the whole time. Wow, that is very gross. Batted an eyelash at him, saying that even her dad was there, and I truly want to tell you. Yeah, the real father, I agree, failed her extremely. It sounds like it. Sounds like it. If I would think that a good father in that situation would do what they can for their kid no matter what. And it's very grotesque and disgusting that the Timu vocals Stern Stefan enjoyed what he was doing. Very evil. Yeah. I believe in these different prisons and stuff, there are justice where they need to deal with him the way they deal with the type of people. Indeed. And when you have this mermaid, when you have a constant failure, a chain reaction of failure from a domino effect of failure, it's going to lead to things like this for sure. Okay, Michael. Good evening to you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, and see you on the next one. All right. So, enjoy your food. Okay. Alright, said, and he said he loved her and had great times and all that, and it was worst thing ever to say. It was the last thing said. And Murray says Stefan is not safe since he's famous for his crime. Prison known him well and hate. They're kind of ready to attack. I hear it about all the time today. Oh, okay. To here in a sec, but I'll be here. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, I definitely feel the anguish, Mermaid, that you and others feel, and he, uh, I don't really know for certain how remorseful the person is. Hello, Todd. Good to see you. Welcome. Yeah. Hey, hey, Todd. Yeah. So that is, as I said, very sick case indeed. I can't believe that people are really like that, but they are. Right, during the sentencing, Stearns made a brief general statement of remorse, but did not explicitly admit to deleting killing or take a full accountability for her death. Alright, and Mermaid said Stefan could easily get a bounty in jail, and they do exist. They basically get food first, or the commissary, razor, toothbrush, paste, shampoo, lotion, socks, gum, Kool-Aid. Yeah, thank you for explaining that. And I know there's been incidences of them attacking these people. They will be brutal to these people that they're targeting, of course. And it's most likely at some point they'll probably get him, in my opinion, or they haven't already. And prisoners steal all their commissary. Yes, commissary. Yeah, that is true. I've heard about that, and I don't know everything about it, of course, but I've heard things like that. Yeah. It's the way the inmates deal with those that are really really evil. Mermaid said, "Alien. Also, he is on live calls with hundreds of thousands of us hearing it, and he's saying he has lots of money. Money. It tells you the amount on the call." Oh, really? That is mind blowing. Really is. I wonder where he got all that from. Was it from before or during that? And yeah, you could people could even buy properties while they're in prison. Oh, okay. There, he doesn't keep his mouth shut. Oh, that is so. Oh, let's see. Todd says, I don't know if you're a football fan or not, but the Sanders went nuts in Cleveland, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Todd, I do like football. It's very popular in my city, and that's really interesting. That's very cool. 4 touchdowns. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, and Sanders went nuts in Cleveland, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, that sounds like 4 touchdowns. That's on a roll right there. It sounds like a touchdown marathon. I've seen that stuff before, and the Saints have done that at times. It's like a domino effect. It just keeps happening. They when they get in the rhythm and that happens, it's always interesting to see. So I'm uh, I'm glad to hear about that. Thank you. Mermaid said he had $50 alone for calls, and he's getting it from mom and dad. Oh, yeah, and there's certainly you see this guy in this prison you're referring to, Stearns. He's not really the brightest individual, and he's telling everybody, airing his laundry. He's telling everybody what he has and stuff, and they're certainly going to go after him, or he's at least making himself a target. And they're certainly looking at him and watching him closely. Yeah, and in a way, he's almost like a celebrity status in there. And that, yeah, so he reminds you of Wade Wilson in a way, for what you're describing. That's the vibes I'm getting off of this dude. But I I really hope that people can see what he did and expose that type of behavior, and then we could prevent people from having encounters with people like that again. Right. Right. You don't want to be that kind of famous. It's famous for all the wrong reasons. Yeah. But to them, and people with those disorders, they think that they like the attention. A lot of those people. And it's a bad publicity, but to them they like the attention. So yeah, I would rather be well known, either not famous or be famous for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. But to them, it's like they have no conscience, no regret, no remorse about anything, and to them, that's all that means. Yeah. Guilty pleas. Stern pled guilty to 220 counts of sexual battery. Yeah, the whole story is wild, so I thought you'd check it out. Yes. Yes, I will certainly do that. Thank you. I don't even mind, like, I'll play the calls on the show, and I'll react to it. We'll do that. Thank you, Memory, very much for telling me about that. Okay. All right, and yes, yes. Thank you, Mermaid. I will do that. It'll be good for content for the chat. I always like different suggestions on what to do and about what we could play and watch. Because I always like to have suggestions about different trials to watch. I really appreciate those. Okay, and Mermaid says, of course, and it's just such an interesting case. I know I spent as many hours on it as I did on the Wade Wilson one because they're both crazy lunatics, but in different ways. Yeah, yeah, they both are the same crazy lunatics, and although they did different things, they're still in the same category. Definitely, to see these minds and how they work is quite like fascinating to imagine. Like, what is going on here? Why are these people doing this? It's a certainly mental gymnastics at its finest. Okay, and oh, I see that right there. My team, let's see, on the 14th, the month, Saints will be playing the Panthers. Okay, interesting. Speaking of football, yeah. So in those calls, Mermaid, they both do. they they're just really, it's a big fascination of what is going on in their minds, and seeing how they react is just unbelievable. It's not how like a normal person would react. Yeah, those calls with him and his parents are kind of comical and gross. Yeah, yeah. Especially when parents enable a person that's doing wrong. That's another thing that is cringy at the same time as well. And the next Cleveland Browns game is an away game with the Chicago Bears on Sunday, December 14 at 12 my time, 12 p.m. Uh, standard Central Standard Time, my time, not their time period, but mine in Central. So December 14th, they're going to have a game with the Bears. Okay. We're barely getting no new ones now, and this lady, who I believe is awesome, Christian, I'll share her page so you can go off contents, and she's the only one who's paid and played the calls. Her name is Plunder. Okay. Thank you very much, Mermaid. Appreciate it. I'll save it. Okay. Oh, he talks about the toys and stuff. Yeah, that is really cringe. That's really cringe. The lack of emotion and empathy is appalling. You know what's cringe? Oh, okay. Thank you. We phone calls from prison. Okay. Right. Said he talks about like toys collected and stuff like that. The phone calls are honestly gold for all those psychos. Yeah. Remember, I heard the calls of Wade Wilson, and he completely acted out of line. Indeed, he just acted like he made a fool of himself. And this guy sounds like he made a fool of himself too. Made him a fool of himself too. Okay, and Alright. Is this page cooperating? Oh, here we go. Those calls are probably the most craziest to me. Oh, really? Really? Yes. Yes. All right. In the recording phone calls from jail, Stephen Stern spoke with his parents about the charges he was facing, often denying murder accusations, offering. And they're cringe, yeah. Yeah, so without spoiling anything, he talks about his different accusations and calls from jail and possibility of other things that could cause him problems. So he seems to do a lot of things like that, yeah. And on a stream, I will certainly play the calls and react to them. Yeah. I might even do that tomorrow. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Mermaid. I see Plunder True Crime. I see it. I remember when we did the ones on Epstein. Those are good streams. Yeah. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you, Mermaid. And I say, Mermaid, I appreciate very much you helping out with the channel, and appreciate the suggestions. I always appreciate that. Plunder's a good page to you, absolutely. Hello, Zero. Welcome back. Yes, that is correct. We all love true crime, and those are good channels. And shout out to those channels I just mentioned. Okay, and the mother seemed to have knowledge about the abuse and made suspicious statements. Also, at the same time. Oh. And going over here, sleeping arrangements. She sometimes had Madeline and Stern sleep in the same bed in upstairs room, a decision many people view as incredibly negligent, enabling of the abuse, lack of emotions. Oh, the mother has a police interview, and it's horrible. Wow. Yeah. Another thing that we were watching is the OnlyFans model one. That was a trial that we saw. That hasn't come out yet, but we were watching the police interrogation videos about it. Lack of emotion. Some people noted that Jennifer did show same level of emotion regarding the ongoing abuse as she did in disappearances, and that she was notably absent from Stern's sentencing hearing, which led to further public speculation about her involvement or guilt. there was like 4 or 5 bedrooms in their townhome. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, a lot. And she is such a freaking nut. I want to let you know she's body cam after she deleted him, and I saw it. You just gotta show everyone that one. Okay. Okay, we'll do that one. We'll do that too. Yes. Despite public opinion and scrutiny of her actions, law enforcement has emphasized there is currently no evidence charge Jennifer Soto with any crime related to Maraline's death or the abuse. Prosecutors have not found sufficient evidence to meet the standard of beyond reasonable doubt for criminal charges against her. Monster to me, the blonde white lady. Right, right. She looks psycho after she was caught. The blonde one. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's go over here. Yeah, I see her. I see both of them. That dude looks creepy. It looks weird. Like the look in his eyes looks strange, and then yeah, very messed up indeed. Yeah, and Mermaid, I agree with you. She did look like a psycho. Yes. Oh, he looks scary, younger. Okay, let's see. Shout out to the spaceship cats. Okay. Yeah, that was his mugshot. Yeah, definitely something's not right about him. I was there when the police forced around the evidence after he was announced, and they said she literally stabbed him straight down. He must have been sitting. The young pictures of Maddie hurt me. Okay. Yeah, that's Maddie. Yeah, she looked like a nice young person. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely. And in this right here, that's him and the daughter. Yeah, definitely looks sweet and fun to hang out with. Yeah, it looked like she had a promising future ahead. Yeah, that is him in the jumpsuit. Okay. And that's him with like a crow cut. Okay, going back here. Yeah, her parents never protected her. And by that happening, there is no chance for her to have a life. And when you have no protection, the jackals and the hyenas will come in, so to speak, and just destroy everything. Right. Her dad gave up on trying to father her because the mom was gross and evil. Yeah, and a lot of the times these days, we want to have systems where if there's a mother that's going to be evil like that, she needs to maybe the child services need to take the kid somewhere else, and he should have had custody of the kid, but I don't know what the circumstances were, and a lot of times they don't always favor the guy; they favor the female a lot of times. So yeah, it's a maybe part of our decaying society. She also said that the mom did. She said to police on cam that she knew stuff was going on. Shook like her dad with the blonde, but ton like her mom in the face. Yeah, yeah. This is him with shaved head, and it doesn't show. Oh, how about that? There we go. He has such a stupid look on his face. Right there. It looks like doi. Mermaid said, I think her mother hated or her was jealous and didn't stop the abuse. He does look like Muslim LMAO, just saying it was a beard. Yeah, yeah, he does have the beard. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Let's click that right here. And um, yeah, this is him with the without the shirt, and yeah, definitely strange looking indeed. He's not really in shape either. He looks like one of the Twilight Zone characters from the. There's a serial killer Twilight Zone episode where there is a wax museum with the wax museum figures, and he looks like he'd fit in right in with one of those figures. Yeah. They had they had pictures of Stephen driving Maddie around lifeless. Oh, that's disturbing. Picture with a shirt, I guess, because after that, they made him strip and look at picture of his, yeah, his part. They took picture because they found thousands of videos of him, and Maddie had, yeah, very gruesome. Yeah, for him to document it and try to save it is really, yeah, really disturbing indeed. I mean, he's not only going to do something like that, document it too for his own pleasure. It's very creepy. All right. I'm going to get this thing right there and close it. Force that. Okay. Anyway, this is another image of like them out in public. It looks like he's wearing some sort of a shirt. I don't know. He's working somewhere. A Disney World video. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Fun fact: he recorded the other female roommates in the bathroom, and it was found. Oh, that's creepy. Indeed. He out the camera under the door. Oh, he's really a dirty rat roach. He was just addicted to it. He was obsessed with it. Ryan said, yeah, and he's weird because he had the GF, his age, and a daughter. Yeah, he has all these different people he shouldn't be with. Like, you need to stay with the woman he's with and not all these other people. Yeah, just as I said, it's a compulsion. It's an addiction. It's a that they crave more and more, and to the point where it they go over. You know, like something gives way, and they just go on a shark frenzy over it. And any ounce of remorse or whatever just gets wiped away immediately. Okay, so let's go here. It is another. I may have flipped over that one already. See anything else? Stearns. Let's see parts. Murderer. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so that this is, as I said, this is the person in that case, and let's go here. summarize the defense. All right, the defense strategy for Stephen Stearns primarily focused on procedural challenges and attempting to suppress key evidence rather than substantive argument of innocence in the public trial. Suppressing evidence. The main pillar of the defense was trying to prevent prosecutors from using graphic images and videos found on Stearns' phone and Google Drive. They argued this evidence was obtained unlawfully without a proper warrant, and Stearns was coerced into providing his password while in a poor mental and physical state. Lack of sleep and food. A judge ultimately denied this motion. All right, challenging the death penalty. The defense filed motions arguing that the death penalty. Yeah, it's a lie, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a lie. The defense filed motions arguing that the death penalty itself was unconstitutional and sought to block prosecutors from pursuing it, requesting closed proceedings and venue change due to the extensive media and social media attempts the case received. The defense argued it would be impossible for the Stearns to receive a fair trial in Florida. They requested that pretrial hearings be closed to the public and suggested a change of venue, though these efforts were also denied. Negotiating a plea deal. The most sufficient strategy was the eventual plea agreement. With suppression motions failing and trial looming, the defense negotiated a deal where Stearns pleaded guilty to the sexual abuse counts and no contest to murder charge in exchange for state withdrawing death penalty superfication. Outcome: the defense efforts ultimately led to the plea deal that ensured Stearns received life in prison without parole, sparing him from potential death sentence and avoiding a lengthy, traumatic trial for Madeline's family. Right, exactly. All right, so this is what the prosecution was arguing. That's what the defense argued. Now let's see what the prosecution argued. Prosecution's argument was built on a foundation of overwhelming evidence asserting that Stephen Stearns was responsible for prolonged sexual abuse and subsequent murder of Madeline Soto. Their primary focus was connection to digital evidence of abuse to the physical evidence of the murder disposal of the body. All right. Key arguments and evidence. Consent to search. The prosecution argued that Stearns explicitly gave law enforcement verbal consent to search his phone, which led to discovery of crucial evidence. They contended the devices followed legal procedures, countering the defense's claims, and the evidence was unlawfully obtained. Digital evidence as motive and proof. They emphasized the recovery of thousands of graphic photos and videos from Stearns' phone and Google Drive, which they argued provided a clear motive for the murder and demonstrated a long pattern of sexual abuse and dating back to when Madeline was a young child. Physical and forensic evidence. Prosecutors used a combination of physical evidence to build the murder case. surveillance video. The video footage from a parent complex. Yeah, scared. Exactly. Surveillance video. The video footage from the apartment complex showed Stern's vehicle leaving with Madeline's slumped over body in a passenger seat, an abnormal way for someone to be seated. Discarded belongings. They highlighted surveillance video of Stearns discarding Madeline's backpack and laptop in a dumpster where they were later recovered. Yeah, he. Yeah. Okay, it's like, what are we doing here? It's like, not only is the dude going to do something evil like this, right? But he's going to incriminate himself, take videos of it, let them search his phone. He has a dumb look on his face. He is completely unbearable. How a complete moron indeed. And a heartless one at that. He has no brain at all. And he's like a Darrell Brooks' cousin in a way. In another sense. Location tracking. Cell phone tower pings and license plate reader logs were used to track Stern's movements and prove he traveled to the wooded area in St. Cloud where Madeline's body was later found, disproving his claim of having dropped her off at school. Cause of death. The medical examiner report confirmed Madeline died by strangulation. Right. Seeking the death penalty, the prosecution was steadfast in their arguments that the heinous nature of the crimes warranted the death penalty, a stance that was ultimately used as leverage in the plea negotiations. Guilty as charged. Also, watch the videos when they reported her missing. They're gross. He has that dumb look. Yeah. It's like that look that never disappears from his face. He's almost like the Walking Dead. He's a walking person that is just in a constant state of death, indeed. All right, and yeah, he's like Freddy Krueger in a way because he just has like the same outfit on, the same look on his face. That's basically what he is. But he's like a dumb version of it. More disgusting than scary. Well, Stefan's a big baby, and his calls now crying about all the freedom he will never have while we all laugh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's only upset about himself and nothing that he did, or even if he didn't do it, the person that he hurt. Yeah, it does nothing else matters to him. Right said, it's like when Wade Wilson is sick and get his cheeseburger. Ah. Okay, yeah. So Wade Wilson one time, he wanted to get a cheeseburger. He wanted to get some McDonald's because he'll never have it again. And what they did was he wanted the cheeseburger, and so he told them all the information they wanted to know, and then Afterwards, they said they couldn't really help him out with the cheeseburger. They weren't sure they're going to be able to help him. And he's like, well, he wanted a cheeseburger right now. He said, and they were like, not true. There's a weird clues. Did Jenny being pregnant, and he said he bought a silver ring in jail call and waiting for her to move and return or anything. And they found a Amazon cart receipt that wasn't purchased, and it was some baby stuff or thing like a new incoming baby. Oh, okay. Right. I truly like that they never gave him the burger and people cried about it. Yeah. I know, and his fans too. His fans are crazy indeed. Oh, weird clues. Okay, weird clues. Yeah, Stefan's side freaks me out, and he don't even really conceal much. Yeah, he doesn't even try to hide it. He just shows it out in the open. Like this is what he does. He just doesn't care. No remorse or empathy or anything like that. They were like, "How dare you not give a gay rapist a happy meal?" I know, I know, because that's what he is, and he's. I remember there was a prison call that he did, and he was talking about how he does sex with men. He is like sex with men in the prisons, and it's like, bro, whoa. It's really, and he was like talking about it casually, and he takes it up the rear end, and he was like, he just did it with some dude. He was telling the woman that he's like, oh, I just did it with some dude, and that was just laughable. Like he is very gay, and I think he's bi. I hear how he talks to men. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He definitely to me seems like that as well. Yeah. Right said, women think Wade's their man, and he is in love with men, and it's all true. Alien, he is. He did. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, and women all over. There's women over in Africa and Europe, all over the place, saying that they have the Wade Wilson to themselves. It's extremely, completely insane, like what these people do. Yeah, and he never even did anything for them. It's ridiculous. Oh, LMAO, and also, did you hear about Wade Wilson being catfished by big lady, and she was huge? Yes, yes, I heard about the catfishing incident. That is certainly, well, he definitely deserved that, and he actually believed that it was true. That's the funny thing about him. He believed it was true. Yeah, and so there was a woman that was pretending to be something else, and he believed the woman, and he got catfished by the woman, and it wasn't what he thought it was. Hello, Duke. Good evening to you, buddy. Shout out to the chickens and the flamingos and the bulls. Shout out to you, buddy. Also, and I hope you're doing well this evening. All right. And let's see. Mermaid said it was so good. She said she was a lawyer and she was going to save him and loved him. Yeah, yeah. And it sounds too good to be true. When something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So yeah, that actually did happen. So there was this woman that was claiming to be a lawyer and that she would save him and she loved him, and he thought it was real, but actually it was not what he thought it was, and he got rightfully gypped out. Okay. He met his match. Yes, yes. Because Wade Wilson actually does. I'll show you all this guy. So he actually fell out of shape, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, that is Wade Wilson now. He he's totally different looking than he did when he came in there. Yeah, so he definitely met his match with the person that he was catfished by. Indeed. Yeah, that's him right there. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he has that thing on his head. Has another picture of him. His as Google him smiling. He has no teeth. I know the full story about why. Okay, Wade Wilson teeth. Scared. Okay, that's Wade Wilson. Looks like he has no teeth. He playing another gang and it was wrong and they beat him all of them did and two of his front teeth came out. He also owed food to other prisoners. That's a good pick of him with no teeth. Dang, that's a real pick, sadly. Yeah. So definitely he deserves it after what he did, and he could have just lived a regular life and been in good condition, but now he's just completely unrecognizable and wasting away, and rightfully so, because that was like him originally, and yeah, see that's him in the corner on the left. Yeah, that's before he had the problem that he had. Um, and you see now, as I said, he reaped what he sowed. Oh, his tattoos. Yeah, his tattoos, I mean, were of the Aryan Brotherhood and um, of course, the from the Reich of Germany, which is other gangs would want to delete him over that, definitely. I think that this. I don't know anything about jail, but some tattoos or symbols you have, people go delete you over it. It's like wearing the wrong colors in the wrong area. Because a lot of times they'll have bandanas that will show different colors of different regions. And him, just like the white supremacy stuff he was wearing, this would not work in his favor. I guess it would depend where he was, but yeah, that he's borrowing from other prisoners. You have to pay back what you're owed, from what I researched about. And it's also, I'll tell you this, it's best not to borrow anything from anybody, from what I heard about in the prisons, because they're going to want some other things in return, that aren't too nice. And people don't realize he's balding, older, no teeth, and they think he looks the way with teeth. He has swastikas and wasn't welcome in the Nazi gang. Yeah, the Nazi gang wouldn't want anything to do with him, probably because of what he did to the women. Because there's a certain line of the sand they usually cross where you can't do stuff. So he may have been beat by them specifically because they didn't want to be associated with him. And I think he had other symbols too on him. He may have had some lightning bolts, which is another symbol from the SS. But yeah, definitely the swastika he had, various ones. Yeah. And also he tatted the mouth tattoo and wasn't allowed to get it. Yeah, the Joker smile. Yeah, the way he always looks like he's smiling. Yes, I think all I see is the swastika on him. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if he had anything else. I thought I saw the lightning bolts, but I could be wrong about that. All right, let's see his tattoos. Yeah, all I see is the various swastikas. Anything else? Okay. Yeah, all I see is swastika. Let's see. There we go. He has a haircut. That haircut he has is is associate whites, not always white supremacists, but that's kind of like a kind of haircut the Aryan cut that they would have back in that time in Germany. But of course, the Nazis, the real Nazis, didn't have tattoos. I mean, the SS had some tattoo um, under their arm right here that signified that they were of pure blood. But besides that, they had their blood tie tattooed to them. But you know, this tattoo thing is a more of a modern gang thing in America. And yeah, so you can see the swastika kind of like on his head with the cut he has. Yeah, so he was trying to fit in with that group. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to look scary. Yeah, it is huge. Yes, absolutely. And this side of his face, he has like uh, markings all over his face. He looks like a half night and day. It's like a bipolar type theme to him, with the one half not tattooed, the other half tattooed. A lot of ladies have commented here that he would have looked way better without the tattoos. Yeah, he was said trying to look as scary as possible. Yeah. Let's see any 2025 pictures of him. Let's see murder. What's I think that's all about him. Let's see 25. Let's see, is there a mug shot of him from this year? It wasn't released. No, nothing. No new mug shots. But yeah, that basically the toothless picture of him. That's a more recent picture of him. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the picture of him young is also sad. No, that's not the right thing. Let's put young. Yes, he looks like Frankenstein. Yes, I agree. I agree. All right, so that is Wade Wilson when he was a kid. Yeah, he looks like a happy kid with no tattoos. Yeah, he is terrifying. He's nearly 7 feet tall, I believe. Let's see what his height is exactly. Or I could just do this. How about that? All right. The Florida convicted murderer Wade Wilson is reportedly 6 feet 6 inches tall. One source from the Lee County Jail website listed his height as 6 feet 6 foot 4, but his ex-girlfriend confirmed 6 foot 6 height during her trial testimony. Wilson was convicted of the 2019 murders in Cape Coral, Florida, a case which generated significant media attention, earning him the nickname Deadpool Killer due to sharing the name with Marvel character. Right. Yeah, he is scary. That's him standing up. That's him with his attorney. That is him in one of the phone rooms. Yeah, scared. Yeah, and I can't understand why there's so many people that are fanatical over him. Mermaid says, I had empathy for Wade Wilson, but the more I read how he treated everyone, I just didn't all I could say is good luck, but he also claims he may know Jesus, to which is wild. I think he got in trouble for seeing the nurse too much, trying to get her to touch him. Yeah, I did know about that, and if he did find Jesus, that's between him and God. I at some point I would hope that he can see his errors of what he did wrong and for his own good and for the good of justice as well, because by him changing and seeing he was wrong, he can in turn justice will be fully served. And but yeah, I it's wild stuff indeed, Mermaid. Yeah, Ted Bundy was like that when he was in prison. He found Jesus too at some point, allegedly. People don't really believe it, but it's alleged. Yeah, Mermaid, it's good to pray for other people and have compassion. That's very important. I appreciate that. Pray for. Jesus said to pray for those that persecute you and your enemies, and those that trespass against us. Yeah. That girl is so mentally ill. She's unreal. Her face, and she goes happy. The sad face, sad face. Possession may be what we're seeing. I do believe in possession. I believe that there's evil spirits that lurk, and people may be have a evil spirit that lurks with them and is able to take over them at times. I believe that's true. I believe these criminals reach the end of their ropes and they do find salvation. They're very lucky. Yes, I believe that is true with a lot of them. I don't know how many, but I do believe there are many that do find salvation. I agree. The people coming to heaven are going to be shock us, I believe. Yeah, we will be shocked to see who's in heaven and who's in hell. And there's also pastors and uh, religious folk that may not be, and as a no pun intended, especially some priests that may not really be in heaven, but there's gonna be people in heaven they'll be surprised to see. People coming to heaven are good. Yes, yes, I believe that. It's also important to pray for those and help people to see the truth. All right, and let's see. Because we all fall short of the glory of God, and by God's grace we are saved and we are changed to different people. Because through the Holy Spirit. Definitely. Okay, let's see. Mermaid said, I don't think modern day people will find Jesus like they do since they've looked death in the face. Only those who truly repent, have remorse, will find grace. They will receive grace. Yes, they will receive grace's wonderful welcoming splendor. She is always filled with compassion for all. And yeah, oh, okay. So she says, find Jesus like they look for death. Yeah, I think a lot of people in our modern times will not find Jesus because a lot of people are tied in with their computers or their sinful lifestyle, and they're more focused on that than finding true salvation. And in this modern age of computers, like the computers, the social media platforms, and whatever they idolize become a god to them. It's almost to me like getting away with murder. They're supposed super lucky. If so, I believe in grace and all. So yes, you could truly see it in this day and age. Right. Right. And Jesus paid the price through us Christians believe. He paid the price of what was meant for all of us through his death and resurrection, where he took the punishment in place of all humanity. Yeah, in this day and age, I mean, people are obsessed with their other things too, and other pleasures and desires. And eventually, as AI continues to evolve, they're going to have people have virtual girlfriends and boyfriends, and though which is already happening, but they'll be living in a virtual realm of their own personal prison, and not reality. But I do believe the technology others may find Christ easier. It can be used for good. It just depends on how the people use it and interact with it. Interact with it. Yes, it's very good to accept his offer. And I do believe there are people that may not believe or know about Jesus that will be saved in the sense that they may have would have accepted it if they had known about it because there's people that don't know about Jesus or just didn't were ignorant about it. I believe there could be some exceptions. But overall, yes, it's important to accept Christ and to his sacrifice for the salvation of the world. Yeah. And Jesus said to pick up your cross and follow me, and that is what he did. And it's good that God the Father gave us that gift of him. I think some people will get saved the moment they die. Yes, that's true. I believe that as well. Because some people will pray Jesus, and even though they didn't live their lives believing, Jesus may accept them. Amen. Yes. Amen. And there's another parable Christ talked about where there is a bunch of sheep. It was 100. There was 99 sheep, and there's supposed to be 100 sheep. So he would leave the 99 sheep to find the one that was missing. And there is a king in the Bible that was really evil, and he built idols in Israel, and he was excuse my language, he was a jackass, and he was going to his death, and he was praying to God to save him. And you think that God would not want him to be saved, and he would laugh at him or something, but God was moved by his request, and he delivered him. And he was the most evil person in the Bible, apparently. So, yeah, I think God cast the sins from east to the west. So, yeah, even in the Old Testament, instances of God being moved by mercy and grace, because it's humble. When people repent like that, it's a humble, moving thing. Right. Because some people will pray to Jesus, and even though, okay, I read that. I'm putting my hands. Okay, understood. So yeah, that is certainly true about people's salvation, where it depends on the circumstances and how they eventually meet the eventual end. Like sometimes people can repent at the last minute and be saved because they generally mean it. There's people that can repent that did evil things that can be saved. There's other people that can be believers and fall astray and then end in damnation. There are people that are believers that are just like Pharisees and they eventually meet their own demise. And because this wasn't always about being perfect, pious, it was about being we're all flawed people, and then by that grace, we are delivered because on our own, in the context of, in the big larger context of things, all humans have fallen short of the glory of God. Like in the eyes of God, we're all the same. So, because God's perfection, and anything a human could ever do, no matter what good deeds you ever do in your life, no matter whatever you do, will never be equal to the infinite God. That's why the Jesus thing makes sense, where there was some sort of a bridge between us and him. Where, as I said, the good deeds are important to do. You always need to do that. And it's good to be disciplined in that, but it's not going to necessarily save somebody. It's like, it's a little bit more complicated than that, because all humans have fallen away. There's also liars and deceivers and twisters of the truth that may pretend to be of Christ, but really aren't. The wolves in sheep's clothing that we all have to be aware of. So, yeah, I would hope through the discretion of God, people can avoid becoming like Wade Wilson, and I don't really know always what causes people to become like that. I do believe in possession, and life circumstances can cause people to go down south. But overall, in the long term, people can change and become better people, and it's just something you could always take by faith. Not by we live by faith, not by sight. Yeah. All right, and let's see. Go here. That's all right, mermaid. That's all right, mermaid. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. Okay, looking up this. Right. Wade Wilson, the Florida man convicted of the two murders in 2019, was adopted as an infant and described as a joyful child by his adoptive parents, but his behavior changed dramatically around his teenage years, leading to troubled youth marked by drug use and legal issues. Wilson was born in '94 to teenage parents and placed for up for adoption shortly after birth. He was adopted by a church-going couple, Steve and Candace Wilson, in Tallahassee, Florida, who provided a stable, loving home environment. According to his adoptive family and former classmates, he was well adjusted and an active child who received good grades in school and was skilled at sports. His parents described as friendly, well intend, intended people who wanted a better for him and tried hard to keep him on track. Around the age of 13, his family reported a complete shift in his personality. He became paranoid, reclusive, and began heavy drug use. Key aspects of his later childhood and adolescence include substance abuse. Wilson started using drugs, including marijuana, by age 14, and his drug use escalated throughout high school, leading to a school suspension for selling drugs. Head injuries. He sustained multiple head injuries and concussion from playing sports as a child, as well as from two serious car accidents in his late teen, early 20s, which defense experts later. Yeah, it is sad indeed. He sustained multiple head injuries. Exactly. He sustained multiple head injuries and concussions from playing sports as a child, and as well as from two serious car accidents in late teens, early 20s, which a defense expert later suggested may have caused significant frontal lobe impairment. There are drugs like bath salts that can cause someone to go crazy and start like there was a person that took bath salts and they became like a zombie and he started eating. He one dude ate a homeless dude's eyes out. Uh, just started eating people. It became like a zombie from bath salts. So there are some drugs that are so crazy they'll make someone into a monster. Definitely, it doesn't give anyone an excuse, but there are some pretty powerful drugs out there. Mental health issues. His behavior became increasingly erratic. On one occasion, he was placed under the Baker Act, a Florida law allowing involuntary commitment for mental health evaluation. After his father found drugs, prison mental health records from his adulthood list several diagnoses, including schizoaffective disorder and antisocial personality disorder. They do skooma. Oh, okay. And they do something else. Let me think. Bath salts in there, and one called K2. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. So those are very powerful drugs that certainly could mess the human mind. Let's see. Explaining. Let's see. Yeah, so his childhood had some messed up things in it. K2, also brand names like spice, fake weed, refers to a wide variety of man made, mind altering chemicals called synthetic cannabinoids. These are dangerous, unregulated substances whose effects are unpredictable and can be life threatening. What is K2? K2 typically manufactured laboratories, often overseas, sprayed onto dried, shredded plant material to resemble pot pori or herbal incense and sold in brightly colored packages. Despite being marketed as a natural or safe alternative to marijuana, K2 products do contain THC. Instead, they contain powerful synthetic chemicals that are designed to act on the same brain receptors as THC, but they bind far greater, instantly resulting in effects that are much stronger and more dangerous than marijuana. Unpredictability. The exact chemical composition of K2 products is constantly changing as manufacturers attempt to bypass regulation. These means that two packets of the same brand might contain entirely different chemicals and potencies, making it impossible for a user or medical professional to know what is being ingested. Misleading labels. Packages are often labeled not for human consumption to avoid regulatory oversight and criminal prosecution. Rapid heart rate, nausea, severe vomiting, chest pain, difficult breathing, and heart attacks, kidney failure and liver damage, tremors and seizures, and bleeding in some cases. The psychological effects: extreme anxiety, agitation, paranoia and confusion, hallucinations and delusions, psychotic episodes and violent behavior, suicidal thoughts or actions. Many specific synthetic cannabinoids classified as Schedule 1 substance under Federal Controlled Substance Act, meaning they have no accepted medical use and are high potential use. Many states and local governments have their own laws banning specific chemical compounds or general categories of ingredients. All right. And the ones that I mentioned, the bath salts one explained. Let's see. All right. Bath salts is a street name for a dangerous class of man-made. Yes, mermaid. It looks like they're definitely doing partying without us. Indeed. And yeah, I don't know. And but if they're here or not, I'm still going to do what I do. But I do wonder myself what kind of party they're having without us around. Yeah. Bath salt is street name for dangerous class of man-made stimulant drugs known scientifically as synthetic cathinoes. These are powerful, unregulated substances sold and crystalline powders that mimic the effects of cocaine, methamphetamine, or ecstasy. Not for bathing. The name is misleading. These products are not intended to be used to bathe. The name is used as the bypass regulations in packages labeled not for human consumption. The chemical composition. Primarily active ingredients are typically synthetic chemicals such as mephedrone, methylene. Yes, me too. It is Sunday. Everyone's out doing something. Yes, yes. It is the holiday season. Indeed. And it's also the weekend. Hopefully we'll see them tomorrow. Our primary active ingredients are typically synthetic chemicals, such as mephedrone, methylone, and MDPV, which are all derived from cathinone found from East Africa Kahat's plant. Potency. The synthetic versions are far from potent and dangerous than natural plant products. For instance, the MDPV can be up to 10 times more powerful than cocaine. Usage. The drug is typically snorted, swallowed in powder form, smoked, or injected. Legal status. The primary chemicals and bath salts are classified as Schedule 1 controlled substance, the U.S. making them illegal to process or sell. However, manufacturers constantly create new chemical variations to skirt these laws. Yeah, that's a good thing about the premise or loves people view and time off. Yeah, I agree. And like really, I would do these streams, Mermaid, if there was nobody here. I've done it before. There's been times in the past where there's been no one around, and I just do it anyway. Because of course, we'll hopefully see everybody tomorrow or at some point soon, because it is the holidays and people are traveling around doing their thing, and people having breaks, whatever is fine. I love what I do, but so whoever tags along, I'm fine with or not is okay too. So I we'll see them at some point. And as I said, I appreciate you being with me, um, and those that are lurking. There's lots of lurkers as well. So yeah, they must be having a big party somewhere, and they clumsily forgot to invite us to it. Euphoria. The increased talkativeness, alertness, and increased energy, increased sex drive, sociability, hallucinations and delusions, and paranoia and confusion. I'm with you also. I definitely do my work with no one here too. Yeah. Murray said, "Hey, I dig this is great. I love the subject tonight. First, Stephen and wait, oof, yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see other things that this does. Is psychosis. Users often experience acute psychosis, paranoia, and hallucinations. Aggression and violence. The drug can lead to extreme agitation and combativeness, and violence or self-destructive behavior. Cardiovascular issues and rapid heart rate, high blood pressure, chest pain, heart attack, and stroke have been reported. Physical complications, hyperthermia, dangerous temperatures, kidney failure, muscle breakdown, and seizures can occur. overdose and death. Due to the varying chemical compositions and potencies, risk of overdose and death is high even with a single use. All right, so that is some scary facts about the drug bath salts. All right. Yeah, let's go this way. And Mermaid, I want to say that the game yesterday was very interesting. And so there's music that I don't even know where it's coming from. And we try to find the music box, and it's certainly a mind game, and trying to find the source is certainly a daunting task, and it certainly was a big level. So, I love those games that you have up. Right. Yeah, it's very sad indeed about what these drugs and different things can do. Indeed, yeah. Okay, and yeah, so uh, I love those mystery games where you don't really know where something is at or like where it's coming from, and you have to go look for it. It's quite a um, interesting philosophy to philosophically. You always feel like you're being watched by something, but it's nothing really there necessarily. So that is another thing about them that is quite uh, intriguing to me. Also, yeah. And that was Wade Wilson and Stefan. Mm-hmm. Okay, and axing out this window right here. All right. Oh yeah, and the game was hilarious because OMG, it looked the same and drive me nuts. The game is not the one I really wanted to play, but I know it's a huge pool backroom game. Everyone outvoted it. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that is a factor that can cause a sway in votes. Sometimes it doesn't. It goes another way, and yeah, I let's see in play, but what pool room game is your favorite, Mermaid? Out of curiosity, because that is the. Uh, I said, but yesterday was an interesting game, and I like the 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 wallpaper looked pretty cool. Yeah, these are different pool rooms. Different Steam. Yeah, the that is certainly an ambient look to the room, indeed. And yeah, so just showing some examples, and as I said, it's very ambient. You feel like you're being watched, and you hear noises and see things, but there's nothing really there. Like you expect something like this to be there, but it's not. In a lot of these games, there's just no creatures or anything after you. It's just uh, you versus yourself, and I think that's the most scary one of all, is the psychological ones. Your favorite one that you played is the pools. Okay, let's see. This looks like the Titanic pool. That's what that looks like. Yeah, that looks like the Titanic had a pool in it, by the way, and it looked kind of like that. Yes, I've seen you play it before. Thank you for explaining. Yeah. Yeah, the games is my favorite. You're showing now. Okay. Okay, understood. Yeah, yeah, the Titanic one. Yeah, right there. By the way, I would show Titanic's pool. Okay, so let's go this way. Yeah, there is a VR version. That is true, Jesus. Correct. And yeah, so this is a Titanic pool. It looks something like that. Oh yeah, I'm sure the VR headset version is very surreal. Definitely. Yeah, so that's the Titanic's pool, and the pool in Titanic, it's still there, obviously, in the ship, and the pool in Titanic was locked. It was locked in by a flood wall. Yeah, I have not tried VR yet, but I've heard it is very cool. I've seen VR animations, but I've not put a VR headset on my head yet. Yeah, and you see right there, you have they can't access it. They were never able to access it because the flood gates. There's these flood compartment gates, and it was stuck shut. They would have to get a machine to crank it open, which is possible, but they haven't done that yet. So yeah, the Titanic pools have never been seen. Right, right. So that's why you've never seen it documented yet, because they never went into it. It looks a lot like the game you play. You know, that is where it is. Yeah, it's in the ship right there. Yeah. Also, there's the Olympic. Oh, glad to hear about that. Okay, Olympic ship. All right, this is the Olympic. It's a sister ship of Titanic. It's basically the same thing. A Victorian era swimming pool. I'll love it if I don't get vertigo or motion sickness from it. Okay, thank you. Jesus. Yeah, a pool room hundreds of thousands of feet below, and it's all sunk and messed up. Yeah, yeah, and that is Titanic. Oh, the Turkish bath. Okay. All right, this is the Turkish bath from underwater. So Titanic had the Turkish bathrooms. So the Turkish baths, it was like this place where it had all these metal contraptions, and they would have these rooms where they spray water on you with different hoses in different locations. It was like therapeutic, and that is underwater of Titanic where they found it. Uh, Not the pool, but the Turkish bath. I was so excited to play it with VR. It was just so big, like it feels or so real. Oh yeah, yeah. It definitely would be overwhelming. And it was underwater for all that time, and yeah, so it's an underwater room. Yeah, maybe the settings had something to do with it. As I said, I know nothing about it, so I can't comment on it. But yeah, settings could definitely change the tides of the situation. Right. It's very magical to swim in alone. Yeah, yeah. That was 1912, and now it's a whole different situation. Let's see. Let's see. There's a sunken ship. That's an abandoned pool from the Queen Mary. Okay. That's a nice table right there. Battleship Aquarium. Yes, definitely fun to explore. Let's see. Turkish bath Titanic animation. There we go. That's an image of the Turkish bath, like underwater, what it would look like a game. All right, and that's it before it sunk. Wow. Okay. Here's a depiction of people in the regular pool of Titanic. Wore different types of swimsuits than they do now, etc. All right, and that's another depiction of the Turkish bath, by the way. Okay, and right there, it's kind of like the door frame. Okay. Yeah, so pools definitely are very intriguing. I have swam in an Olympic style pool before. It's pools can be fun, especially the pool rooms itself. I'm glad they made games out of them. All right. Now, let's see. At this point, some I have some things to do, so we're going to be ending for the night. And I want to thank you all for lurking, watching, and hanging out with me, those in chat too. And I will see what Mermaid said is I wish there was some pools that were a bit deeper. Yeah, Mermaid, it would be nice if they had pools that were deep like they did in like an abyssal trench type pool. That would be nice. Something they can do is make it deeper. I agree, with different stuff in it to explore. That's something they should be adding later. All right. So thank you, Mermaid, for being here, and thank you also, Jesus. So take care, everybody, and